What's going on, everybody? It is October 29th, getting ready for the last few days of the month here. Looking like the SPY is starting to bounce. Going to try and do things a little differently. I know I've been talking about it a bunch for the past couple of weeks, really. I pretty much took all of last week off, but still keeping track of stuff. So the big thing that I'm trying to do going forward is trading the SPY. So I've been doing a ton of research on SMB about what to do, where to look for setups, and basically it's really just as simple as trading around VWAP or other significant daily levels, pre-market highs, lows, and whatnot. So first thing to notice about the SPY, obviously in a downtrend, a bunch of lower highs each and every day. Looking like we might see a bounce here because last Friday kind of found a bottom towards 262, bounced up about a couple points here, and then we're having a super strong pre-market here, and we're starting to hold above yesterday's, not exactly high, but the second high of the day here, and we're kind of getting stuck in this little wedge. So what I'd like to see happen here, this is a 15-minute chart, so it might take a while, but depending on what the SPY does here, I'm sure it's not going to stay in this range due to volatility. I'm sure there's going to be tons of, moving any and every direction. So what I'm thinking I could do is probably buy a little bit above a breakout of pre-market highs here. Pretty small size. It's gonna be, I'm sure it's gonna break it, relatively early in the morning. I think I might just want to hold off and wait for some kind of pullback entry. I'm not sure how I feel about buying breakouts, but certainly can. I mean, it could definitely work out. I think I probably should buy into this a little bit. Just kind of continue with the momentum and whatnot, but I do have other stocks on my list that I'm paying attention to. Looking like AMRN could be a possible gap and go here. There's not any news on it. AMD's popping up a little bit, Tesla actually selling off a little bit, and SPY seems to be retreating back into that 75 level. YNDX just sold. Okay, well, everything's just kind of selling off here towards the open, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to get any gap and goes, but certainly possibility for opening range plays anywhere and everywhere. So just gotta wait and see what happens here. MRN put in like 150,000 in the first second, and since then we got nothing. Okay, SPY and Q is very strong right now. Just popped up big. Well, MRN certainly is not going anywhere here. There wasn't any news on it. There's no news catalyst. And let's break down. Big one. AMD, I don't know, a little iffy about this one. Obviously 24 was a spot, and then just pre-market here we couldn't really get above 25, 26. I mean, I'm trading pennies on this thing. I'm not really thrilled about that. SPY's at that 70 level. Hopefully we can stay above 60. I'm liking the way Tesla looks here. Kind of flagging up. SPY still holding. AMD really selling off. Alright, a couple more candles. This will be the fifth close. I'd like to see it close around this 341. Give myself 20 cents. 200 shares seems certainly big enough. See what the SPY's. Oh, SPY's just made a new high day. Sure that'll help here. Oh, don't go down. That's good. Bought right back up. And SPY's turning back around here. Tried to move higher, didn't like it, moving back down. Got about 20 seconds till close. Really don't want to see it move yet. I think I might just leave without me. I don't want to buy in unless that candle closes, because closes are important. So I know this thing's just going to turn right back around. Wow. Nope. Would have been a solid win. I was a little awkward looking with this wick down here. And this seems to be following the SPY too. And it's super low volume. Red Hat got bought out. Actually seemed to be moving more than I thought, because I thought they were buying it for like $190 a share, but I guess there's still a little bit of movement in here. SPY's pushing new high day again here. If it gets above 269.40, so I think I want to go with an entry just on a breakout here. 37. I'm sure I'll get filled. I'm sure there's more than enough liquidity. Risking 40 cents is too little. I'm probably just gonna go, just to start, I'll risk low a day, because maybe we keep holding this spot. So little, about 80 cents there at risk if we get up there. Alright, Bubba just made low day again. Special. Nothing special anywhere. Spies make a new low day here. I think I'll just be sitting and watching this for now. Everything else is pretty choppy. Ugly looking so far. This little pokes high day, low day all over the place. We're 10 minutes in here, so we got two 5-minute candles closing underneath a VWAP. Might actually be a good short here if it can't retrace this. Just poked underneath it. Yeah, so far it ain't looking good. Where's test the VWAP? So far it's just really ugly. I'm not trying to force anything that's not super clear to me. And I mean, a short here, I don't know. It could be an alright short here, because we're kind of failing at this pattern. Just looking if we're gonna be able to. Trend lines never match up on different time frames, but I know that it's sitting right above on the top here. What's going on, Baba here? 140. I don't really know where this is though. I didn't chart Baba. It's got some space. It could, but it doesn't have anything until 75 cents, which I mean, Baba and 25 cents isn't too much. Didn't quite get back to VWAP either. I don't really know what I'd be taking on it. I don't really have a strat around this. It's just kind of at the lows. Spy's coming back again. About to close another 5-minute candle. If we can close above VWAP, it's a good sign. If not, then probably are going lower. Qs are down. Nope, we are closing below. Alright, well, I'm not seeing anything, so I'll turn this back on if I do. Okay, I'm looking at the SPY here. I'm starting to kind of switch my bias. So we, again, made another push towards high day and failed super hard. This is actually the close of the 5-minute candle, too. So looking at all of these 5-minute candles, every single one of them is getting underneath here. I want to wait and see because this next candle is about to close here in a couple of seconds. I want to see another retest of VWAP, and I might be able to get a pretty good short position here. Risk probably about 90. Nah, I might as well make it high a day and just wait and see. Because, I mean, eventually you're going to catch one of these things and it's going to trend. And it's going to start moving your direction. But obviously, as you can tell, we haven't really had much direction. So I might be able to get something like 65. 100 shares. I'll just tape and see here. Yep, closing underneath. Alright, I'm going for it. Short 100 shares. See what happens here. Stop loss will be high day. Not really. I don't really want to add into it until I see, you know, a lower low and a lower pullback here, and we're kind of getting that here. So far we're looking okay. But I don't really plan on scalping these ones. I really want to try and turn these into trades to hold. It's been the big thing that SMB is preaching about. Jeez. $269.26. Oh, now we got a real test of VWAP, so we'll see what happens. Big seller there. I mean, if it does end up getting above this 20 level here, then I am looking at my long entry still. And if we fail to move any higher here, then I have a new stop loss as well. Looking at the SPY chart here, I'd like to see it at low a day, obviously, and see how we react there. But could certainly test this bottom trend line too. Buyer stepping up too. I think I want to be able to put in my other order too for long. Still getting in 37. 50 shares is all. Another minute for another close here. This might be the first candle that closes above VWAP, which certainly would change everything. I have to see what this candle does, because last time this happened, big drop. Alright, well, first candle of the day to close above VWAP. So that's definitely not a good sign here. So I'm definitely going to get out if we make a new high a day. I'm out. That was crazy. Alright, I'm long. I'm switching. Stop loss for this one's going to be low a day, because now we're getting... Because now we're starting to break above this trend line here, and I want to see it hold above these pre-market levels, so... Same situation I was thinking of that short, now just long. I want to see it break away eventually here, and now we're looking for a good case to actually get long. So I want to see it push up, maybe test pre-market highs, kind of pull back. Look for a new spot to add in here, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Ridiculous move so far. So we're at pre-market highs right now. Looks like we did get above. And I only have 50 shares, but that's okay. 270 is definitely going to be a number to look out for, but after that, 272. So we got to clear 2 points ahead of us. Alright, so now the plan is look for a pullback, wait for a pullback, wait for it to hold that pullback, and then look to add in with a new stop loss. Jeez. Definitely a good start to the trade, so I know I'm onto something here. Well, certainly was not expecting a straight up move. I feel like taking this trade-off just because it's been such a ridiculous move that, I mean, any pullback that's going to happen here is going to be pretty significant. Who knows if it's actually going to come back or not, but I don't think that's the right way of thinking about going about this. So I think I'm just going to stick to the plan, wait for that first pullback. Volume's kind of dropping off here. I finally see a little pullback. Let's see what we do with the whole number. Ultimately, I really want to see what it does with pre-market highs. So if it comes back to 70 and can't hold 70, that's what I'm really looking for. Looking at the FANG stocks too, they are all pretty strong, very strong. Facebook and Apple are about to break out to new high a day. Google is at high a day, and Netflix is the only one kind of stuck in the middle. Tape was pretty slow there at 90. Doesn't really want to get under the 90. About to close another 5-minute candle here too. And 90 might be it. I'm gonna give it more time though, because nothing moves straight up. And I mean, on a bigger time frame, we are still a little overextended here. We'll see if this 90 can keep holding, but I want to see it hold for a while. Tape is just slow again. Every time we get to that 90, it just gets slow. C. I don't know what that means. It's keeping the speed now. Got a little lower. Alright, here's pullback. I think the important thing here is to see it make a new higher low. So in this case we just made a high, made a new high low, then we failed to make a new high here, and now we're dropping a little lower again. So now around here is where I want to start seeing it basing out. But in the meantime, AMD's holding VWAP pretty well here. And we just made a new push here. And this doesn't look good anyway. 5 minutes holding above, but all these moving averages underneath it for a short trap trader trap doesn't really look good. Plus the circuit breaker, I don't really like it that much. And Tesla's just kind of falling off. Making new low highs, making new low lows. Looks like I'm just sticking to the SPY today, which is fine with me. It's been the goal for last week and today, so we'll sit here until it makes sense. Was good. It was pre-market right here. Let's see what we can do. Alright, good bounce here. I just feel like if I change my stop loss to below this, I don't know, I just feel like that's too tight. I feel like I'm not giving it enough room. But after this engulfing candle here, I do think I need to add a little bit more into this. I think I'm gonna try and get 50 more. Stop loss will be, stop loss is gonna have to be a close around VWAP. So I'm raising it, not to the point where I'm completely positive, but still only a little negative. I don't want to do this yet. I need to see it on the tape first. God, now chase it. Wow. Complete slowing on the tape here. Oh, lots of red. Lots of red, but we held. A3. Alright. Come on. Alright, 100 shares here. See if we can keep the momentum going up here. I like the bounce so far. Now we need to start seeing it hold above 270. I don't want to add on breakouts, just wait and watch. Ain't looking too good now though. Might have found a top here. We're gonna break out of this little consolidation underneath here. We failed to push any higher than this, and we're kind of stalling here on lower volume. Still want to give it space though. I'll let it go to my original entry still. Lots of volume there. Ooh, bought back up. What was that? That's kind of weird. Hmm. 5 minutes might be flagging here. See what we can do above 270. Kind of matched it with volume. I think I need to change my stop loss on this. I need to change it to above 65 because we aren't looking as strong as we once were here. And if we break underneath this, surely it's going to go back to VWAP, but do I really want to hold on to it all that much, all the way back to VWAP and then some? So we got a low of 65. Make sure I give myself some space on it. So essentially going break even on this if it gets down there, because we're not making any higher highs here. We're just kind of flagging out. And I mean, if this thing can't get above these moving averages and the whole number, it definitely adds to the case that this thing wants to break down and go back short the VWAP. Let's see where the moving averages are on the other ones. Because 9's right on the VWAP on the 5, but the 1's definitely don't excite me. The 2's holding it pretty well here. Can't seem to make up its mind. Definitely making a flag here. Just want to see it break up, not down. Man, it's looking uglier and uglier every candle we go on though. Closing below, just barely closing above. Could definitely get bigger here because it's a super tight risk. Could add it 80, extra 20 cents. Essentially double it. So the average cost would be 70. 70 on 200 shares, so it's only $40. Upside is anything. But we keep holding this. We don't want to seem to get underneath here. Uh-oh. Alright then. We're back in the game. So now I got a new spot to add. I can get somewhat bigger in this still. And it's quite a clear stop loss. Stop loss definitely underneath at 65 here. Now I need to find a new spot to add in here. So far 70 is the obvious choice. 80 was definitely a good spot. definitely don't want to see is an engulfing candle for the fake out long, because then that definitely tells me it's done. I kind of like this 2-minute chart. Really like how it's holding the 9 like this. So here, retest the 80s again, and if it can hold, I'm going to add into this. Tape slow again. Ooh, picking up there. Yeah, that's not what I want to see. We tested above the whole number, and now we're kind of starting to fail here. We're about to close the 5-minute candle. And at this rate, it looks like we're gonna close underneath these moving averages too. Or we'll just bounce again. Why not? Does not like this 74.70 level. Okay, so now I'm changing my stop loss to a break underneath of this, because this has been much stronger than this has been, and I don't want to let it go that far. Yeah, I'm only risking like 20 bucks if I get filled on this. I'm adding it at 85. If he keeps holding, there's no point in arguing with it. What's going on here? Is that a hidden seller? No, gone now. Something just happened. Alright. Add it in. Stop at 65. See if that 74 can hold again here. If it doesn't, this could definitely, at any point here, whenever one of these levels breaks down, could definitely go back to VWAP. Yeah, this might be it here. Yeah, too bad. Oh shit, I still have, oops. Well, I'm trying to think of ways that this could have turned out better. I mean, I'm fresh out the trade right now, so I don't really know what to think yet, but I'm sure once I go back over the tape, see what went well, what went wrong, what went right. But I'm not seeing any setups yet, so I think the next possibility here Might be something in VWAP. I'll just gotta wait and see. Alright, might have another trade coming up here. So originally, after I got out, SPY broke down, came back to VWAP, consolidated underneath, retested once, failed super hard, death candle, red engulfing, came down to about 268.50 before bouncing and came back to VWAP. Now this candle is actually really interesting because this was the close of the 5-minute candle. And I mean probably 3 seconds before it closed, we were sitting down underneath VWAP and all of a sudden just had this explosion of volume so that the candle looked like this instead of closing underneath it. So what I'm trying to think of, what that really tells me, I mean, that means somebody cares enough to buy massive amounts of this thing so that it closes above VWAP. Now, does he do that because he wants to shake people out? Obviously, if somebody's buying, 200,000 shares of this thing, they want it to go higher. But do they want to accumulate it more down by the whole number, or, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly it is how to read that. So what I want to see now is this candle to close above VWAP. Gives me a pretty decent risk reward here. I'll take it back to the high of day, probably the whole number more likely. And I guess risk would have to be below the whole number. So we'll see what happens in the next minute and a half here. But I was thinking earlier about all those S&B videos that I was watching, and they keep saying, to trade these moves, move to move, because, just with as volatile as the market is, with how much it moves any and every direction, you want to take your money while you got it. You don't want to give it too long. So what I'm wondering is if I really should have, because I remember earlier I was saying, maybe I feel like I should be taking profits up here after such a huge move, but I told myself that was the wrong thinking, and I just needed to wait for a pullback and continue to add in and follow the trend. Well, we never really had a trend because, it's so early in the day, this could be the beginning of a trend, but there were so many warning signs in here that really I could have just taken a smaller win and just, been okay with it. But, I just kept adding and adding, and I guess it just so happened that, the spots that I add was where the risk was at, and, I mean, I only ended up, tiny loss on the trade, but not looking too good right now. Really wanted this candle to close above, and we're already getting below the whole number, so there might not be a trade here after all. I don't want to short this thing, because you can see we're respecting this 20 pretty well here, and I don't want to be, oh wow, see what I'm saying? Somebody buying this thing, pushing it up. Nope, not for this candle. But right after, I mean, we're just making higher highs here. I don't know. Well, this was 90. Could make my stop 89, because that's giving it everything. But the problem is, where do I want to get in, and where am I looking to take profits? Because now we're getting tighter, and we failed to make a new low, so that's another key point there. After consolidating, we failed to make a new low. Tells people that it doesn't want to move lower, it wants to move higher. But on the higher time frame, I guess it's still kind of flagging here. We're getting ready to make a move already. I think I would have to deal with an entry at VWAP. So what was that, 35 cents? See how low we can get here. Because I mean, we're not really even holding above VWAP, and we haven't really trended away from VWAP. So I mean, I almost feel like I'm trying to force a trade here. Because I mean, bigger time frame, this really isn't that bullish. We got stuck underneath VWAP, engulfed higher, but we never really took off from that point. We're just kind of consolidating in here. Not really moving anywhere. I mean, that original buyer definitely made me interested, but I really wanted to see this next 5-minute close above, and I think because that it didn't, and we're just kind of going sideways, I think I just need to wait again. I don't think I need to be buying any or shorting any breakouts. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would just be a bad trade, so I'm just gonna skip it. Okay, watching SPY here. There's a little bit more to add to a short case now. So the 20 is getting above this. We closed underneath it on the 5. Looks like this 5 is just now starting to show a little more signs of being bearish. Got some wicks up here, pulling it back down. Made another retest here again. The 50's kind of curving, moving down underneath this. The only problem is that this right underneath the whole number here has been holding pretty strong. I see another bounce again. Well, we had another minute and a half before this candle closed. I didn't want to be short any breakdowns. I wanted to kind of catch something about 15 is what looks like is pretty good here. Risking about 25 cents, so I'm gonna go 150. Got a minute here though. And that just poked through right there. Would have taken it to this trend line. Yeah, and there's a 5-minute close. Well, I don't really know. Maybe you can retest the whole number and I might be able to get something up there, but I'm not just gonna blindly short into this because we're already getting to that trend line. Yeah, I'll definitely get in on this if we can get back up to the whole number. if we're gonna get that. Little tap underneath. Well, same situation. I'm looking for a pullback. Alright, so something going on in Tesla right now. Not looking at the SPY anymore. Probably gonna call it somewhat soonish, but there's definitely something going on. I mean, looking at the 5-minute, kind of got above, stopped at the pivot point. Looks like 345 holding really strong, engulfing underneath the VWAP, closed underneath again, another bearish engulfing. Just been kind of consolidating underneath VWAP for the past 20 or so minutes here. And then you can see there's a hidden seller here at this 342, and plus we got this symmetrical, it's kind of a symmetrical triangle coming up in here. That it might be a decent short at some point, but it's not following the SPY. But surely the SPY is going to influence it somehow, and the SPY is kind of popping right now, which might make it do something here. I want to watch this though. No, just popped right through it. But this could definitely be a good short. Don't want to long it. Well, I want to see it fail and come back underneath. And if it doesn't do that, yeah, I might just keep consolidating in this triangle. But if not, I think I want to get short, probably underneath this wick. So I'm just going to turn it back if it ends up doing something. Alright, looking at Tesla again here. I wanted to take it long, but at this point it's starting to look like a much better short. We're kind of coming up to retest VWAP and failing here. So I'm thinking I can get... I'm trying to keep track of how much it's following the SPY, and it's starting to follow the SPY more and more as time goes on here. But I just can't ignore it. I mean, it just looks really good either way here. Let's see if I can get filled. Alright, I'm in. Stop loss is going to be above this about 342.90-ish. SPY is moving up right now, so that's certainly not helping the case. But definitely 340 is going to be an important level here to see if we break down underneath it or not. 5-minute candle's going to close here in a minute. Some big numbers being thrown around here. Green though, not red. I realize I'm risking about $150 here. I didn't think that, you know, as time went by, you know, risking everything's gonna change. So I mean, worst case scenario, it does get up to that 343-ish. But I figured we'd see some movement before that, so then I can change it to view app at some point. Do want to get it ready anyway. Yeah, this 38 here, right on this 40. Alright, good break there. Spread. Definitely need to give it more than that. Yeah, 339 is a good level too. There's no moving averages. The moving averages finally got on top here before we kind of closed this 5-minute and got underneath it here. Okay, and the SPY is not helping. Yeah, I don't need to let it go that far anymore. I think 342, well no, because then 342 is still kind of a retest. I think I still have to stick with 343 here. But I mean, we already had its opportunity to break down. But I think I gotta be okay with a retest. I have to be. SPY's pushing higher towards the view app again. Tick charts definitely not helping. Things looking pretty bullish actually at the moment. So we're gonna need a miracle. It doesn't want to get above 341 here. I think if we get down to that 339 again, I need to be taking some off. There's a hidden seller here or something. could be bad because the SPY is screaming up right now, and if this hidden seller breaks, could see a big squeeze here. I want to have my order in just in case. Yeah, we broke him. See what happens here. Last chance is view app here. If not, I'm out. And about to be out. Alright, there it is. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, so definitely done for the day. Tons of stuff to recap. So my goal really for this week is to trade the SPY. Been thinking about it for a super long time now. I finally wrote down some plans, some trades, some ideas, watching videos about it, what SMB does about it. And I really just, I wrote a giant plan on what I want to do today, followed it, did it. Losses are losses, wins are wins, doesn't really matter. The only point is that I'm getting experience kind of doing this so that I can really nail down what it is that I want to be doing, how I want to trade it and whatnot. So first trade that I took on the SPY was a short at 265, 268.65. I shorted it, I believe, because there was an engulfing candle here. No, it was so we had all these wicks, obviously on the 5-minute chart, so it was about 20 minutes of just failed moving higher. And then once we had a break of low a day and we started coming back here, I wanted to find a spot to get short here. I figured, the moving average could be a good spot. Find some resistance to bounce off of that or view app, but really the thing just tore up, and then I knew that where I stopped out was going to be somewhat close to an entry of this second pre-market high here. So as soon as I hit out of that short, I got long 50 shares right above it, and I mean the thing just took off. So the thing here that I think I messed up on is I took 100 shares short. Fine, I'm risking like, I don't know, 70, 80 bucks. Yeah, I lost like 80 bucks. No, I lost like 60 bucks on it. But then I don't really know why I only took 50 shares going long here, because my plan was to, start small, scale into the trade, which is fine. It's kind of what I expected to do for trade to hold trades. But only taking 50 shares on this, it's just not gonna cover the losses that I have from taking these other trades like this. So I think my first mistake was taking that position size. My risk on this was low of day, so I think it was, yeah, like 50 bucks. So whereas this, my risk was about 60 bucks. So I mean, I don't know, I think I just needed to be a little more consistent with the size in this case, because it just doesn't make sense to lose on a 100 share position and then take half that size trying to get the same thing out of it. So I mean, after I got in, thing just took straight off. I remember telling myself up here, I feel like I should be taking this trade off. because I was super in the money really fast. But I knew that I wanted to treat it, like a trade to hold, wait for the pullback, look for spots to hold, and just keep adding to the winner. So I knew I already had a good winner. So I just wanted to wait and see what else would happen. And so we got an engulfing here, and after we kind of found that bottom, we got that engulfing. I was looking for some kind of pullback to get long at, so really not a bad add in here. Added some more, it looks like 80, only 50 shares, so at this point I was 100 with an average of probably like 55 or 60 or something. So I mean, it's pretty clear, your stop loss is going to be here. And then just kind of really consolidated. We didn't really move higher, so I think this is the first warning sign, is that we're not making higher highs here. And the second warning sign was after we had this engulfing, kind of break out of this consolidation, and then we failed over the whole number here, and we got back underneath it, and then we got another bearish engulfing under here. And then I decided to add more into it, because I mean, now it's like this 74 level is holding, so I can play off of that. So I added in another 100 shares, so that at this point I was 200 with an average of like 65 maybe or something. So I mean, either way, I lost pretty little on the trade, I think. So maybe 20 bucks on it. Yeah, that's because my stop out too, I only put 100 instead of 200, so I should have been all out at 63 instead. I mean, the only thing that I think went wrong on this was starting with too small a size. My first ad was okay, I think that's good, but my second ad is where I need to be a little more cautious, because there's just too many case points against a long bias here. I mean, the rejection of the whole number, and then on the 1 minute, you start seeing all these engulfing candles just kind of taking over, and we can't really break out of that range. We're failing to make new highs. But I mean, I hit out where I should have. It's bizarre to me that I look at this trade and I lost on this trade. I mean, I had such a good entry from the beginning. I don't know. I'll talk about it more, especially when I start typing things up. But the other mistake that I had here was on right about here. I've been so concerned with how I want to trade this SPY that I forget that I can also trade my patterns like a symmetrical triangle, or in this case it was a trap trader trade. I mean, it's definitely pretty obvious looking at it. We got engulfing underneath the VWAP, failing to get above it. We do get above it, engulfing, do get above it again, almost engulfing, but just failing, and then we get above it for a third time. Don't reach as high that it touches the 50, and then we get an engulfing right to the low of this range in here. I mean, it is a trap trader trade if I've ever seen one. And I mean, I remember talking to myself during this too. I said I don't want to be buying any breakouts. Well, I didn't think about my scalp plays that I could have played on this. I mean, I could have taken this straight to the trend line, would have been no issue. I mean, it was a winner, barely ever pulled back, maybe even an ad up in here around this 80. Solid win there, just missed it. I'm seeing all these opportunities on the SPY. It's just kind of, man, phone calls, noise everywhere. I don't know, just missed a trade here. Definitely pretty upset that this ended up being a loser instead of a winner. I think, maybe I could have made my stop loss a little tighter. Maybe change it to under that 73. Maybe taking it all off there for a small win instead. Maybe it ended up being a small loss. I don't know, just really trying to nail down what it is, but I think today's been a huge help with getting this. And then, of course, I'm almost, Tesla, of course. So then the other trade that I took was on Tesla. Calling out a big symmetrical triangle here. Was looking for a good long here, but we just couldn't get above. And then after I saw this little break underneath VWAP, and then we failed to get above VWAP, I told myself, okay, I need to short this thing. So shorted about 75 shares here, break underneath the whole number. Obviously you can see there's a bunch of support here. Bunch of support about this 340. Okay, back. So shorted here, 340, 87. Was pretty worried about all the support underneath here, but we bounced off of it maybe once, maybe twice, and then just broke hard right underneath it, going straight to 339. I didn't want to be taking anything off quite yet because, you know, I'm risking about, I think to start it was about $2, so I mean I wasn't, you know, I was close, but I was about 50 cents short of a 1-to-1 there. I figured we could get down to this 338, you know, break underneath 339, but bounced pretty hard, and I mean, at this point, so what happened at 11:40, 11:41-ish, the SPY had just broken out of this consolidation and started moving towards the VWAP. So, you know, low volume on Tesla, low relative volume, SPY being in play, as volatile as everything is. Told myself, you know, this isn't the best situation to be sitting and holding through a trade. You know, SPY was coming up with momentum, decent volume, and was really just looking for a spot to cover a loss here. So it looked like 342 was going to be the spot. I mean, there was a hidden seller there for a little bit, and we, you know, poked above, came back, and just kind of chopped around. And then now, since the SPY has decided to fail at VWAP and drop and move even lower, Tesla ended up doing the same thing on good volume too. So ended up missing that trade as well. You know, I really wasn't, after this loss, I told myself I wasn't going to trade anymore. You know, I haven't sat at this computer in 2.5 hours and traded, and I don't know how long, but I don't know, sat here for a while, did what I needed to do. I think the smart thing to do here was probably do a re-entry, because, I mean, you know, it's respecting the trend line. It really failed to get back in it and hold above in it. I mean, the thing just took down, you know, following the SPY. It's just another missed opportunity, I guess. So, I mean, today is pretty ugly. I mean, I didn't expect it to be a super fantastic day or nothing, but certainly could have been a lot better. I mean, this video is going to be like 2 hours long. I mean, I sat recording so much stuff. But finishing down 176, you know, again, I see where the money's at. It's just my own mistakes costing me here. But either way, be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.